Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 16 and compare it against the iPhone 11 Pro and see which particular phone is a better one for you. Now, here's the thing between both. If you have all the money in the world, then go for the iPhone 16, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, like get one of those phones. But I think the iPhone 11 Pro is still interesting because it's still supported with software, it's still hanging around there, and some people might be wondering how these two compare. So, if you want to pick up the iPhone 16 or some other iPhones that you can find for the cheapest prices that I find, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. So, starting off with the outside of both, the iPhone 11 Pro, which came out back in 2019 on the front of this particular device, is giving you a very, very good sized 5.8-inch Super Retina OLED display. And it's a really good looking panel, right? I feel like if you're going to go through and pick up a device, this thing still looks very, very good. You're getting the notch up top. You're getting very good build quality for the most part as well. The panel itself is good. It's still 60 Hertz, but it was a really good looking phone. It was one of the last iPhones to actually have this curved side to it, so it is kind of funny there. But I still think it's a pretty good looking device. It is smaller than a lot of other phones now, but because of the rounded corners, it kind of felt good in the hand. It didn't feel super thick or big or anything like that. And I do kind of miss this design. This was the exact phone that I used for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed my 11 Pro a lot. With the iPhone 16, on the other hand, this phone is giving you a little bit of a bigger 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. So this panel is bigger. You're getting the dynamic island at the very top, so no longer do you have a notch. This is also still a 60 Hz panel, but it is a brighter panel overall. So I think that's a very big thing to keep in mind, is that if you're wanting this type of phone, this panel, everything is going to be really good, and that's something I really do like about this type of device. So I would say the 16 wins, but the iPhone 11 Pro still looks very good as well. Now for the rest of the bodies, you can see that my iPhone 16 is basically giving me this flat side to it, where the iPhone 11 Pro has this curved side. So both have volume buttons and everything. The iPhone 16 is giving you this action button, which is really, really nice. The iPhone 11 Pro is only giving you this ringer on-off switch, which some people may prefer, some people may not, but that is something I really do like there too, but the action button is better. The biggest difference, though, one of the biggest differences, is that the iPhone 11 Pro was giving you this lightning port at the bottom, which is still very nice. I love lightning, but the iPhone 16 is giving you USB Type-C. That is a massive difference. Going up to USB Type-C is something I love a lot, and I personally love having that type of capability. So that right there is a very big thing, and definitely without a doubt, that is a very, very big difference as well. Now on the other side, you can see that we actually do have this action button on the side of the iPhone 16. So that is something that's actually really nice to have, being able to have like a dedicated action button right there to be able to take photos and videos and zoom in and zoom out is really cool. The iPhone 11 Pro doesn't have it. Power button's right up here. On the back side, both are giving you interesting backs for sure. They're both frosted glass backs, which is really interesting. The iPhone 11 Pro was the first one to bring a frosted glass back. Triple camera setup here, dual camera setup here. MagSafe capability on the iPhone 16, 11 Pro doesn't have it. So overall on the exterior, there's a lot of overlap here for sure. If you're wanting the phone that's going to be giving you the overall better experience, clearly the iPhone 16 is going to be the one for you there. But I think the iPhone 11 Pro still does a really good job at basically everything you throw at it. And I think this is still a very good phone going on the iPhone 11 Pro as well. So that kind of covers it up there. Now on top of that, another very big thing here is the software longevity. So between both the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 16, obviously are still supported with software, but the iPhone 11 Pro has, it's been out there for like 5 years now. It probably has like another 2 years of software and then that's it. So that is kind of one big thing to kind of keep in mind here, that if you're going to want the phone that's going to be giving you the overall better experience or the longer lasting phone, it's going to be the iPhone 16, right? This device I think is going to be the one that's going to last longer. And I do think that's a very nice thing going on for this type of device as well. So I do think from that side, that kind of covers it up there as well. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. The iPhone 16 has an Apple A18 chipset inside of it with 8 GB of RAM. Where the iPhone 11 Pro has an Apple A13 chipset inside of it with 4 GB of RAM. So let's go and see which one's a faster phone between both. Okay, that kind of covers it up there. My camera started freaking out for a second. I don't know what happened. All the apps are clear in the background. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. Okay, nothing crazy. Music 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 16 again is a faster one. App Store 3, 2, 1. Okay, totally glitched up there on the iPhone 16. But I do feel like in a way the iPhone 16 was still faster, but still kind of a weirder test. Scrolling through, looks to me that the iPhone 16 is just kind of a little bit faster at loading it, but beyond both, kind of the same thing for the most part. Hopping out of here, photos 3, 2, 1. Both are also on iOS 18, and you can see the iPhone 11 Pro was a little bit slower there. Camera 3, 2, 1. Okay, some differences there. Clock 3, 2, 1. Okay, again, the iPhone 16 slightly faster there. Settings 3, 2, 1. And I like testing these basic applications because this is where you can start to see some of the fine details and the improvements going up to the iPhone 16. Like these little improvements where the iPhone 16 is slightly faster, that's definitely going to add up over time. And even these pop-ups here, like it's really, really interesting to me. Now we do have some other third-party apps we can test out. Subway Surfers 3, 2, 1. And this is not a super intensive game, but it's still one I like to test. And I don't know why we got that pop-up on there. So this one is pretty much already good to go. The iPhone 11 Pro still taking its time, but nothing super crazy, right? Some glitches here, definitely more noticeable than the iPhone 16's glitches. And beyond that, I mean, that's kind of about the same thing. Getting into, what other games do we have? Like, once you load into a game, it's like totally fine. But loading the game and getting into that is actually where things start to kind of see some pretty big differences. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And with this one as well, you can see, I mean, this is a pretty big difference. So, like I said before, like if you're going to go through and pick up a game, this is going to be the one that's probably going to be the bigger difference here without a doubt. So right there is one of the bigger differences too. So if you're going to go through and pick up a game, or if you're going to pick up a phone, the iPhone 16 is going to be the faster one here, basically in every single way. So that's something I love. That's something I prefer. And if you're definitely going to pick up a phone, this is going to be one of the better options out there for you. It's the iPhone 16, but the 11 Pro is still good. But if you're comparing these side by side, there's definitely going to be some big differences here. So that kind of covers it up there for the most part. Now from the camera side, you can see again, I will tell you, dual camera setup on the iPhone 16, triple camera setup on the iPhone 11 Pro, wide ultra wide here, wide ultra wide telephoto lens on the 11 Pro, 4K 60 on the front and the back as well. Now I will be honest, the 11 Pro's camera hardware wise still holds up fairly well. I don't know what is going on my phone, but this camera still holds up like pretty decently. So you can zoom in, I think 10x, which is nice, 0.5x zoom on the outside, video mode, slow mode, time lapse. You're getting panorama mode as well and portrait mode. So there are a lot of modes still built in inside of the iPhone 11 Pro, which is still really nice. And it's still a really good camera when it comes down to it for how old it is, but it's not like an amazing camera. The iPhone 16's camera is very good. So this phone is giving you that camera button, which is really cool. So you can use it to zoom in and zoom out and all that stuff if you really want to. You can also, you basically have the same exact zooming in and zooming out as the iPhone 11 Pro. So 10x zoom there, 0.5x zoom there, which is kind of nice to have. Video mode, you have cinematic mode as well, which is like portrait mode for video. Super nice thing. Slow mode, time lapse, you have your panorama mode and your spatial mode as well. So there is some really nice stuff going on for this type of device as well, and I personally do love having a phone like this. The iPhone 16 is definitely a better camera, but the iPhone 16 is not only just the better camera, it's the better phone. This is a way better device in like almost every single area I can imagine. So if I'm going to go through and pick up a device, it definitely is going to be something like an iPhone 16. This is going to be the better device for me. I think the iPhone 11 Pro is still a really good phone too, right? But the 16, better battery life, better performance, better capabilities. What else do we have? USB Type-C, which is massive. Like, this phone is just giving you it all. But it is a more expensive phone than the 11 Pro. I think if you still have an iPhone 11 Pro, you might still be good to go. You can probably still use it for like another 2 years. However, if you are feeling some FOMO, if you do want to pick up a device, you don't have to spend like $800 something on the iPhone 16. You can also go for like an iPhone 14 or an iPhone 13 Pro and still get a really big upgrade. And the iPhone 13 Pro is giving you promotion. The iPhone 16 doesn't even have it. If you want an even closer phone, you can get an iPhone 15 Pro that I have right here. These phones are probably going to run you around $700 or maybe even less than that, so a little bit cheaper than a brand new 16. And this phone is giving you a lot more capability than the 16 in my opinion. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.